Hello, dearest Igraspers. Real courage is doing the right thing when nobody is looking. So, if you see somebody doing something that is wrong, stand up against it and do something about it, even if it means standing alone. It is now time to begin with the news capsule.
Last week, President Draupadi Murmu felicitated some of the best Indian athletes at the National Sports Awards 2022 ceremony. Over 25 athletes were presented with the Arjuna Award, while veteran table tennis player Achanta Sharath Kamal was presented with the highest honor in India for a sportsperson, the Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. Some of the Arjuna Award winners include shuttlers Lakshya Sen, H.S. Pranoy, woman boxer Nikhat Zareen, and track and field athlete Avinash Sable. We congratulate all the winners for making our country so proud in their respective fields.
Back in 1972, when Singapore Airlines was commencing its operations, Air India, also known as Maharaja, was its role model. According to reports, a delegation of Air India was even sent to Singapore on their request to help launch their international airline. This is no surprise, as Air India was the first Indian global entity in the 1940s to proudly sew the flag in international skies. Now, nearly 5 decades later, Singapore Airlines is one of the most successful operations and is all set to become a 25.1% stakeholder and a partial owner of Air India. Talk about a story coming full circle.
Did you know that just last month, the world's largest volcano erupted for the first time in 38 years? The eruption of Mauna Loa left Hawaii with a crimson sky and ashes, and the locals gathered around to watch the breathtaking visuals. While the government has said that there is no present threat to people living below the eruption zone, they are still preparing a plan to divert the flow of the lava if necessary. Doesn't that sound like it's right out of a movie?
The second edition of the prestigious Earthshot Prize took place just last week. This is a prize founded by Prince William to provide funds for projects that work towards saving the planet. Did you know that the name takes reference from the moonshot ambition of the USA in the 1960s to make a man land over the moon in a decade? Till 2030, 5 Earthshot prizes worth $1.2 million will be awarded annually to extend support to environmental innovation projects. This year's winners even include an Indian initiative called Greenhouse in a Box that is helping small farmers in protecting their crops from pests. Do check out the other 4 winners and their fascinating work.
Igraspers, have you ever heard about a wormhole? It is a very popular concept in science fiction and is regarded as a bridge between two remote regions in the universe. While wormholes have only existed in our imagination as of now, a group of researchers claim that they have created a mini version of this where they were able to send a message between two small black holes in a quantum computer. While this is far from an actual wormhole, it is still a huge step and will pave the way to understand this mind-boggling concept better.
The Square Kilometre Array is a project to build the world's largest radio telescope observatory and has been called the biggest scientific project of the 21st century. And what's even better is that the construction for this telescope has already begun. Did you know that this telescope will be made out of over 1.31 lakh antennas in Australia and 200 dishes in South Africa? This ultra-sensitive instrument will allow scientists to look back at the history of the universe when the first stars and galaxies were formed. We truly can't wait to see what answers and discoveries lie ahead.
A farmer from Punjab's Batinda gave some serious wings to his childhood passion for flying aeroplanes by seriously venturing the field of aero modeling a few years ago. Fighting against all odds, he developed this expertise by sheer passion and grit. He would construct thermocol models of various aircrafts which he would fly on the runway he built on his village farmland. Not only is he developing a syllabus on aero modeling, but he is also doing projects for the Indian Defence Forces and has been facilitated in many universities. Isn't that so inspiring, Igraspers?
Updates from the FIFA World Cup 2022. It has been quite the week as the exciting FIFA World Cup concluded its round of 16 stage and conducted its quarterfinals. Morocco beat all odds during the round of 16 to emerge victorious against Spain and proceeded to face Portugal in the quarterfinals. The Netherlands team went up against Argentina while Croatia faced Brazil, and the fourth quarterfinal was between England and France. Are you excited for the upcoming semi-finals this week? The final match will take place on the 18th of December, and we can't wait to see what drama lies in store for us.
Have you heard about the historic St. Edward's crown? It has been the centerpiece of the coronation of monarchs in England for more than 350 years and is viewed by millions of people every year at the Tower of London. But did you know that recently it was moved to an undisclosed location to modify it for the upcoming coronation of King Charles III, as it was worn lost by Queen Elizabeth II at her coronation in 1953? The new ceremony is set to take place on the 6th of May 2023. So don't forget to mark this on your calendars for next year.
Japan continues to show the whole world its penchant for cleanliness by tidying up before celebrating their country's victory against Spain during the World Cup last week. The Japanese squad defeated Spain 2-1 in a stunning upset and prevented Germany from advancing to the knockout rounds. But this was in the first and only time the Japanese fans have shown this gesture. They also helped stadium staff clean up after the opening game and even after their loss to Costa Rica. I think we can all learn from their excellent practice of cleanliness.
The Oxford Dictionary has been announcing the word of the year, which encapsulates the most important expression during a specific year for nearly 2 decades now. This year was the first time that the word of the year was chosen through an online vote, and the word chosen was the goblin mole. This slang term, which went viral earlier this year, and it describes the type of self-indulgent behavior which rejects the social norms and expectations. Have you ever used such term before?
The word of the week is acquaint, which means to know socially. I was recently acquainted with the school head boy. The riddle of the week is, imagine you are in a room that is filling with water. There are no windows or doors. How do you get out? Stop imagining.
Can you guess who? This 19th century American poet wrote over 1,800 poems in her lifetime. However, she published only 10 of them while alive, along with a singular letter. Her poems primarily consisted of the themes of death and immortality. She was a radical poet who challenged the conventional norms and structure of poetry writing, experimenting with capitalization, punctuation, and grammar. This one wasn't too easy. It's Emily Dickinson. Did you know that with posthumous fame, Dickinson is now ranked among the major American poets?
Did you know that the Queen's baton relay is an important symbol of amity among the Commonwealth nations? The baton is designed by the host country, ensuring that it represents community pride and welcomes everyone irrespective of their diverse backgrounds. Prior to the games, the baton, along with the Queen's message, is relayed across the participating nations until it comes back to the place from where it started. The message is then read aloud, marking the opening of the Commonwealth Games.
Quiz time! Which Queen's Baton Relay is considered to be the longest in the history of Commonwealth Games? Send your answers to contact us at igraasp.com along with your full name, school name, and a photograph. Answer to the last week's quiz. Niju Hippakusha, or Twice Bombed Person, was the title bestowed by the Japanese government on Tsutomu Yamaguchi for surviving the 2 atomic bomb attacks. This certificate of appreciation is presented to Ahana Pandit of Delhi Public School, Arkipuram, New Delhi, for successfully participating in the weekly quiz on India's leading news capsule for tweens, Igraasp.
Dear iGraspers, this week let's take a trip to the house on Mango Street to meet 12-year-old Esperanza Cordero. Esperanza's neighborhood consists of other immigrants, Latinos, blacks, along with poor working-class white Americans, all marginalized by society. With 46 vignettes not exceeding 7 pages, this novel is an eternal classic. Read on to find out what happens to Esperanza, and do share your comments on igraasp.com/iClub.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's news capsule. Remember that courage doesn't always have to roar. Sometimes courage can take the form of a friendly voice, asking everybody to introspect and reflect on their actions. That's all we have for you this week. Thank you all for watching. See you again next week. Bye-bye.